Okay, so I made a video just showing some of the issues that the Rift S has, specifically with Onward, but has with almost every other game that is first-person shooter related. I've now played all the first-person shooters in my library that are VR related: Zero Caliber, Contractors, Onward, Pavlov, or the ones that require you to actually do any kind of aiming, like that. They all just don't fucking really work well. Now, I've received a whole lot of negativity and like dislikes and Reddit messages that are really mean for pointing out flaws and not just like armchair critiquing, but actually doing the things and showing the problems. And I thought, hey man, like no one can really go, you're an asshole for that, but they did. That's the internet. I should have a thicker skin, but okay, I understand brand loyalty. I am probably way more loyal to the Rift than anything else virtual reality related. I had the DK1. A friend of mine who was a programmer, he sold it to me. It was like rubbish compared to what we have now, but it was amazing. And it's the thing that inspired me to get into VR as much as I have. And I have been in VR for like since the beginning. I had CV1 day one without the controllers, and then when the controllers came along, I love the Rift. So this is why I'm so pissed off. This is why I'm so angry. It's because people don't understand that. Well, not all people, but a lot of people are seeming to not understand that the lingo being used is really, it's fucking with a lot of people's heads about what the Rift S is and what it's supposed to do, what it represents, what it's replacing. It is a replacement for the CV1. It is a replacement for the CV1. If they stopped making the CV1, which they have done, they are replacing the CV1. With this, you can only buy this for PC as an Oculus product. Now, there is no alternative that is Oculus that you can buy from the Oculus store. You have to buy a dodgy CV1 off some dude off Gumtree or fucking Craigslist or eBay. And, I've done that a couple of times. But I decided this time to go with the new thing and see how it went. And the lingo on the website for Oculus Rift S, the Rift S page on the Oculus Store, it's like this is the premium PC experience. Whatever, I can't specifically remember what it says. I'm actually going to bring it up right now. I've got no, that's not going to work. But if you go to that page, it says like this is like for the PC players, this is for the gamers, blah 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 blah. They're they're aiming at this not at the casual audience. The Quest is for the casual audience. This is supposed to be something else. They could have just made it more expensive and added some more sensors, but they didn't. And they could have made it work with the Constellation sensors, the fucking Rift sensors, but they didn't. So I'm angry. And I have a right to be angry. And I think anyone who buys this product and runs into any number of the issues that are apparent. The design of the controllers with the O-rings being on top instead of below. The IPD, I have an IPD of 70, right? I got Asia face. I got real bad Asia face, so I'm over here. So I'm IPD is 70. However, that didn't bother me with this. Apparently, it's like I didn't even have to use the software to adjust the IPD. It's fine. The resolution's great, but like, I mean, like, look at that shit. That's like, look at that shit. And I'm having all these other problems now, which are fixable, more fixable than the hardware issues, which are like all the gun games that I fucking love. I love them to death. I spend hours and hours and hours in those games, and now I can't play them until I find an old rift. So I think I have a right to complain. And I don't even think it's complaining. I think it's a valid thing to bring up. And I do it because I want Oculus to get better and to change. So go ahead and be negative and call me a fucking dick. But I'm trying to make VR better by complaining about it. Because otherwise nothing's going to get done. If you just have a bunch of people just going, we'll get the index, or you should have known that about before going in, blah 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 blah. It's like, actually no, I supported this company for 6 years now. I want them to do the right thing. I want to be on the right side. Like I feel like I have been, and now I feel like I'm not. So just that's all I wanted to say. I'm just ranting now. I just was really surprised by how negative shit got. And I understand I ended my last video on a very negative note. Fair enough. My fault. I was mad. I'm still mad. But people should know about these problems. And I think people telling me to shut up about them is wrong. That's all I want to say. Alright.